I made a video a while back showing you guys how I film my helmet cam videos, but since then I've actually started using a different camera. So today I'm going to show you guys the new camera that I use, how to use it, and how to mount it inside of an M1 helmet. So this right here is a camera that I used for a few years. It's a Sony HDR AS50. It does shoot in HD and it captures pretty decent audio, but as you can see, the video quality really isn't that great. Now this thing does have a couple of quirks. It's failed me multiple times and caused me to lose hours worth of awesome footage that I could have shown you guys. Let me explain. The camera department is located on the back, and you access it by just pushing right here, flipping up this little hood, and then sliding the battery in on this little tray. Just like that. Now the problem is, if this gets just slightly bumped, see how that's just barely opened? Then there is a high chance that all the footage that you caught while recording is going to be corrupt. So for instance, if I'm running around wearing this helmet and the camera getting kind of jostled around inside gets bumped right here, I could lose all of the footage that I was capturing up to that point. And I've spoken with other reenactors who were using the same camera, and they all said that they have had the exact same thing happen to them lots of times. So I went searching for a better option. And I didn't have to look far because this thing has actually got a big brother. Wow! This right here is the Sony HDR AS50. It's a little bit bigger than the AS15. The bodies are shaped just slightly differently, so this one doesn't fit in the helmet quite as comfortable as the old one, but it is a way better option for many reasons. First off is the overall video quality. This camera has a built-in steady shot feature, which basically makes your footage look less jostled and shaky and results in a much smoother picture. Side by side, there's a clear distinction between the two cameras, as the AS50's video quality is much better than the AS15. Another great feature about this camera is that the battery compartment is located on the side instead of on the back. And in order to open the battery compartment, there's a little lock right here which you have to slide down in order to pop it open, which prevents the door from getting jostled open, thus corrupting all the footage. So that is a great feature. I've been using this camera for a while now and have not once had the same issue that I had with the old camera and the battery compartment on the back. Overall, this camera just feels a lot more sturdy, and not having to constantly worry about the battery compartment popping open just a little bit is an absolute game changer. Now, as far as prices go, back in the day, I bought this thing for only $40, but nowadays I'm finding them for way more expensive. Okay, pause real quick. I'm not sure why I was saying these cameras are so expensive now. Maybe they were at some point a little bit more pricey than they used to be. But after I filmed this video, I went and looked on eBay to see how much they were going for these days. And you can easily find both of these cameras for well under $100. So just kind of ignore what I say here and know that you can go on eBay and find either one of these cameras for well under $100. The new camera that I'm using is around the same price. I think I bought this one for $150. So really not too bad for a camera, but not crazy cheap either. So if you're going for the cheapest option, I definitely go with the AS15 over the AS50. But if you're going for quality, the AS50 wins every time. It takes a micro SD card, which is located on the underbelly of the camera. You just insert it right there. I think that's a great spot for it. The batteries I use are the Kestar X-Type 3.7 volt batteries. These work really well. And compared to a GoPro, these things are practically immortal. I think these average out to a couple of hours of battery life, and I've never had a problem with these dying on me in the middle of filming. What I find works best is putting the fuzzy side of the Velcro on the camera and the hooks on the inside of the helmet. So what I did here is I took the fuzzy side of the Velcro and I cut off a strip about the length of the camera, and then I cut that down the middle so that it can fit nicely on the back of the camera. You can find Velcro like this at pretty much any store. I bought these rolls years ago at Walmart for just a couple dollars. Now here's the trick to mounting the camera. Since the controls and the little screen are on this side of the camera, you really don't want to put Velcro on top of those because you want them to be accessible, right? What this means though, is that when you go to mount it, the camera is going to have to be upside down like this. I'll explain more on that here in a minute. Just know that when you go to review your footage, it's all going to be upside down. So before you go and start editing, you're going to want to just take it and flip it around. All right, now that we've got the Velcro on the camera, we're going to put Velcro on the inside of the helmet. For this part, you really don't need a very big strip. A piece about this size should do the trick. Now when putting the Velcro in the helmet, you're going to want to put it on the right side of the helmet. So if you're wearing it, put it on the right side. Now you want to make sure that you don't put the Velcro too far back, Otherwise, your camera isn't going to be able to get a very good angle and it's just not going to be comfortable. So since our ears, when we're wearing an M1 helmet, fit kind of in this general area right here, that's where you're going to want to have your Velcro. Right there should be perfect. Now once you have the Velcro in there, go ahead and take your camera and just kind of make sure that it's in a comfortable spot. And there you go. Feel free to kind of fiddle around with it, move it around if you need to, and find the best angle. Not everybody's head is going to be shaped the same or will be the same exact size. So what's comfortable and works for me might be slightly different for you. So just move that Velcro around and move the camera around and find what works best for your head. And again, remember, since the camera is filming upside down, you're going to want to flip that footage around before you start editing it. As you can see, the camera does hide pretty well, but it is not completely invisible, but not a big deal. The audience is really not going to notice a small detail like that. Well, there you have it, guys. That's the new camera and how to mount it inside of a helmet. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.